always been drawn to the way many Japanese people approach life: simple, intentional, and calm. There's something so peaceful about how they live with less, yet seem to have so much more clarity and balance. Over time, I started learning from that mindset. I realized that maybe the reason I was feeling so overwhelmed wasn't because I needed more, but because I was holding onto too much. So I began to shed the excess. Little by little, I started releasing the things that didn't truly add value to my life. And what I found was a sense of freedom I hadn't felt in a long time. In this video, I'm sharing 11 things I've chosen to release to create a simpler, more mindful life, inspired by what I have learned from Japanese minimalism. I hope something here speaks to you too. For the longest time, my morning routine started like this: wake up, reach for my phone, and start scrolling. I didn't even think twice about it. It was just a habit. But over time, I noticed something weird. Even if nothing bad was on my feed, I still felt a little off, like my brain was already cluttered before I even got out of bed. So I decided to change things up. Now, I leave my phone alone for the first hour of the day. No notifications, no updates, just quiet time for myself. Sometimes I stretch. Sometimes I just sit with a drink and breathe. It's not anything fancy, but it helps me start the day on my terms, not with someone else's noise. And honestly, that one change made my mornings feel a whole lot lighter. If your day always feels rushed or scattered, this might be worth a shot. Just try giving yourself a little space before the scroll. I used to think staying in shape meant needing a gym. But over time, I realized I don't actually enjoy the whole process of going there, waiting for machines, paying monthly fees, all that stuff. So I stopped. And instead, I just started moving my body at home. Nothing complicated. A few minutes of stretching, a bit of strength work, or even just dancing around. That's it. It's quick. It fits into my day, and I don't have to plan my life around it. Turns out, staying active doesn't have to be this big thing. As long as I'm consistent, even small movements make a difference. I used to start my mornings with whatever gave me a quick boost. Coffee, energy drinks, even sweet milk tea sometimes. It felt normal, but it never felt good. My energy crashed. My stomach felt off. My mind was all over the place. So I tried something different. Now, I go for tea. On calm days, I make a cup of ginger or chamomile. It helps settle my body before the rush. On busy mornings, I go with matcha. It gives me clean energy that lasts for hours without the crash or jitters. One small switch, no effort, just peace and focus. If your mornings always feel heavy or scattered, maybe it's not your routine. It's what's in your cup. I used to eat pretty fast, usually while scrolling on my phone or watching something in the background. It was just a habit. I wasn't really tasting the food. I was just eating to get full. But then I learned something interesting about how many people in Japan eat. They take their time. They chew each bite slowly, without distractions. And it's not just about manners. It actually helps with digestion, makes you feel full faster, and lets you enjoy your food more. So I decided to try it. No phone, no TV, just me and the meal. And honestly, I ended up eating less, but feeling more satisfied. I realized that a lot of the time, I wasn't really hungry. I was just eating on autopilot. Now, eating feels like a small moment of calm in my day, and it's made a big difference in how I feel, physically and mentally. Lately, I have been noticing something kinda surprising. The way I handle small, everyday objects says a lot about how I move through life. I used to be super rough with things without even realizing it, slamming doors, tossing my phone on the table, pushing chairs around like I was always in a rush. I never thought twice because they're just things, right? But the more I slowed down, the more I started to notice. When I'm gentle with the little things, I feel more grounded. Placing a cup down instead of dropping it, closing a door softly, sliding a chair in without making noise. It's such a small shift, but it makes a huge difference. It reminds me to be present, to take my time, to actually care for the space I live in. And sure, I still catch myself rushing sometimes, but now I try to notice it. And when I do, I take a breath and slow down. It's not just about objects, it's about how I want to show up in my day. One thing I've learned from Japanese culture is how thoughtful they are with space. In many traditional homes, you won't find big, bulky beds. Instead, people often sleep on simple futons they roll up in the morning. That really stuck with me. So eventually, I decided to let go of my bed too. Now I just use a thin mattress on the floor, and it's honestly been a game changer. It makes the room feel bigger, more open, and gives me space to stretch or move around during the day. Plus, I don't have to deal with the hassle of a heavy bed frame. It's a small change, but it's helped me simplify my space, and I actually sleep just fine without a traditional bed. For a long time, I didn't think much about when I went to bed. I'd stay up scrolling, watching stuff, or just doing random things, and I thought it was fine. But over time, I noticed how off balance I felt every morning. I was tired, unfocused, and everything felt rushed. So I started going to bed a bit earlier. Not a big change, just 15 minutes at first. And that tiny shift, it made my mornings feel calmer. I had more energy, more time, and way less stress. I've realized that how you end your day really affects how the next one begins. So if life's been feeling a little messy lately, maybe don't try to fix everything at once. Just start by sleeping a bit earlier. It honestly helps more than you'd expect. There was a time when I'd turn on the TV without thinking, just to fill the silence. It wasn't about loving the shows, it was more like a habit. But one day, I asked myself, wait, what do I actually get from this? Most of the time, it was background noise, some laughs, some drama, but nothing I'd remember the next day. So I tried something different. I unplugged the TV and just didn't turn it back on. At first, the evenings felt quiet, a little too quiet. But slowly, I found myself doing other things, cleaning up, stretching, listening to music, or just sitting with a cup of tea and letting my mind wander. I realized I wasn't bored. I was just used to filling every minute. And honestly, not having a TV didn't take anything away from my life. It gave me space to breathe. There was a time when I let everything pile up during the week. Clothes on the chair, dishes in the sink, random stuff on the floor. Then Saturday came, and I'd spend half the day cleaning. It felt like a never-ending cycle. Until I tried something new. Instead of waiting for a cleaning day, I started doing tiny cleanups, just 5 to 10 minutes every morning. Wipe the table, fold the blanket, put things back where they belong. That's it. At first, it felt too small to matter, but after a week, the difference was huge. My space stayed tidy, and I didn't dread the weekend cleanup anymore, because there wasn't one. More than that, it cleared up mental space too. I felt calmer, less distracted, and weirdly proud of my room. It's such a small habit, but it really does make daily life feel lighter. One thing I've learned, especially from the way many Japanese people approach life, is that trying to be perfect all the time can actually make things harder, not better. I used to think everything I made had to be flawless. Whether it was a video or a simple task, I'd keep tweaking and fixing until I burned myself out. Long hours, constant stress, and even back pain from sitting too much. It just wasn't sustainable. Now, I aim for good enough, not perfect. Hitting the sweet spot, just solid, reliable work, is usually more than enough, and people still appreciate it. It's surprising how freeing it feels when you stop chasing perfection and just do your best. Not only do things get done faster, but life also feels lighter and more enjoyable. Japanese culture is how powerful words can be. In Japan, there's a belief that words carry energy. They can either lift you up or weigh you down. It's not some big philosophy, just something I started noticing in daily life. I remember saying things like, "I'm so unlucky," or "Why does nothing ever work out for me?" And over time, I realized those little phrases were shaping the way I felt even before the day began. So I tried an experiment. I stopped using negative words for a week. No, I can't. No, I'm so tired, even if I wasn't tired. Instead, I'd say things like, "I'll do what I can today," or "Let's take it slow." And surprisingly, it changed how I felt. I was more patient, less stressed. Even small moments, like waiting in line or spilling something, didn't frustrate me the way they used to. So if you're trying to live more simply or bring more peace into your life, this is one easy step. Be gentle with your words. It's free, it takes no time, and it really does make a difference. So yeah, that's something small but powerful I've learned, and it really stuck with me. Words might seem like nothing, but the way we speak to ourselves shapes the way we live. Start with something simple. Speak kindly to yourself, even if it's just once a day. Over time, it adds up. And so does the peace that comes with it. If this video gave you something to think about, or simply made you feel a little lighter, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more simple, mindful living tips. We're all just trying to live a little better, a little lighter, together. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and stay kind.